Hi friends, Arenas is finally back in Apex Legends Season 25. So here's a little reminder of how to play Arenas, and also there have been a few changes since we last had it in the game, so this will hopefully help you understand those changes that have come to Arenas in Season 25. There will be two slightly different versions of Arenas in the next few weeks. So the live version now, running until the 19th of May, is what's called the classic version of Arenas. That's the one you're going to be familiar with from the last time we had Arenas in the game. And then there's the newer version with a few fairly significant tweaks that will be coming out on the 20th of May. So I'm going to cover the newer version now, but I'll mention what's going to be different in the version you're experiencing. For the most part though, Arenas is Arenas, so most of the rules do apply across both modes. Now if you haven't played Arenas before, it's still a 3v3 game mode where your squad of 3 will go up against another squad of 3. It's not like Battle Royale in terms of how you start the match because you don't drop in. Instead it's round based, and you'll start each round in a spawn room with a buying phase. Now this buying phase gives you this shop view, but watch out, you only have 30 seconds to buy before this lockdown room will then open and you're free to go and take on the other enemy team. By the way, if you find any of this video useful, please do hit that subscribe button because it really helps me out, so thank you. Now let's talk about this buying phase. To buy anything in Arenas, you'll need currency. The currency is crafting materials, and there are a few different ways to earn them. Now in the first round, they will just give you 600 crafting materials to start with, and you can pretty much spend them or save them however you want. Anything you don't spend will carry over to next round though, and that's progressive through each of the rounds. So that's the first way you'll get your crafting materials. The second way to earn crafting materials is through kills. Each kill you get in each round will give you 75 crafting. The third way is through the material canisters you can find on the maps. These will give you about 200 crafting for the entire team per canister. The final way is actually a bonus you'll get each round, kind of like you did in the first round where they'll just give you a set amount of crafting each round. It's worth noting you do max out at 3,500 crafting though. Now on to spending the crafting currency. If we look on the left of the buy screen, in round 1 you get blue armor automatically. This doesn't upgrade based on damage like it does in Battle Royale though. Here it's fixed as blue armor, and unless you find a care package during the round, you won't be able to upgrade your armor during that round. It will automatically go up in certain rounds though, so your armor will stay blue for round 1 and 2, it will then go to purple in round 3 and 4, and then finally it will go to red if you get to round 5. Of course there are no helmets anymore because they were removed last season, so that still applies. Below the armor you can see abilities. The first icon is your passive, which is generally free, and then to the right of that you'll see your tactical charges. Depending on the legend you've chosen for the game will affect how many tactical charges you have available and also how many you can buy. The legend choice will also affect the cost of those tactical charges. The range tends to go from around 50 crafting all the way up to around 200 for the bigger useful tacticals. Any unused abilities will carry over to the next round, so if you don't end up using an ability, it's not the end of the world. In round 1 you can't buy your ultimate, but in subsequent rounds you can buy your ultimate. Again, the cost of those will vary based on the legend you've chosen, and you should also know if you use your ultimate in the round, it then has a cooldown of 1 round where you essentially won't be able to buy your ultimate again, even if you do have enough crafting. Under your abilities you can see heals and grenades. Heals are given to you for free now. You can also buy nades. Each nade costs 100, and you can hold 3 unless you've got a legend like Fuse that has an ability that allows them to carry more nades. They've removed the ability to upgrade your backpack, so you can't carry more nades if you upgrade your backpack. In terms of weapons, the most important change is that you can only purchase a weapon once in a game now, so do keep that in mind. Make sure you're choosing the right weapons in the right rounds, because you'll lose the ability to use that weapon again in the game. The first cost you'll see on each of the weapons is the base cost of buying that weapons with no attachments. Once you've got the base, you can click 3 more times, and each time you click, it will deduct a certain amount of crafting materials, and that will upgrade your weapon with a set of attachments. And it goes per level of rarity, so you go to that grey, then blue, then purple, each costing more as you go up. The actual cost to upgrade the weapons does vary though based on the weapon you've chosen. Obviously, the more powerful weapons and the more popular weapons tend to be a bit more expensive. There's no gold upgrade, so you will be limited up to purple. However, you can find gold weapons and even mythic weapons during the game. Care packages will drop in. If you look in the bottom right corner, you'll see what weapons will appear in that care package in that round. You'll also notice it's not just weapons in the care package. You can find better armor, or you could even find boost kits. In terms of buying weapons, you can also buy more than one weapon. You could actually buy a secondary weapon. In all honesty though, most people tend to focus on a better primary in general. In terms of ammo, you do get that for free, but when you thirst enemies, they do drop ammo, so you can also pick up ammo if you need it. And your teammates can also drop you ammo as well. To win the rounds, you need to eliminate the enemy players. There are no respawns here, so once they're dead. At least for that specific round. However, there are revives, so obviously if you don't thirst them, they can be revived by their teammates. If you thirst an enemy, as I mentioned, they'll drop ammo, but they do also drop weapons and heals. It's worth remembering there are no armor swaps that drop. This has definitely caught me out a few times because I forgot about it, so do remember that case. If you're thirsting to stop them being revived, not to grab an armor swap. Now, to win the whole game, unlike before, it's now the first team to reach 3 rounds, meaning the games do feel a little bit shorter, which I personally feel is more fun. And if you do get to round 5, which I mentioned earlier, that's where you get that red evo, that is effectively sudden death. And for those of you asking, no, there's no ranked arenas unfortunately. It might come back in some form in the future, but for now it's just arenas in this pubs format. You should know though there will be a 1v1 version of this arenas mode coming mid-season in season 25, which will probably be in about a month and a half, so keep a lookout on my channel for that because I'll drop a video when that goes live. Just to finish on the key differences in these rules compared to the classic version of arenas, which is live for 2 weeks, versus the rules I've just covered, which will be live for over a month. And you'll notice this classic version that's here just for a couple of weeks has slightly different legend tuning and mechanics across the game. The classic mode also has extra things like supply bins, which have been taken out of the newer mode, which I've mentioned. Plus, in the classic mode, you'll notice at the moment you need to buy things like those meds, whereas as in what I've shown you coming in a couple of weeks, you don't need to buy meds. There's a few little differences like that, but the core of the mode still stays the same. And those are pretty much the key things you need to know about the returning Arenas mode in Apex Legends Season 25. Hopefully this video helps you get back into Arenas, go have fun, let me know how you get on in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.